Check.
But this is the negative part of Rastafarians in America. Because as black people, as black men in America, we feel like we got to do what we got to do to survive. And at one point, selling drugs was the only real way we can make any money. White man won't give us no job. Affirmative action made the job environment hostile. So that was really in the educational system made it even harder to the point that the black man had to fly to something that the white man could just walk to. So at one point, selling drugs was the only thing we could do. So Rastas in America, you'll see a lot of them go to the girl for cocaine but not doing cocaine. It'll be selling cocaine or the intent to distribute or selling crack and shit like that. You'll see a Rasta in America sell these things. If he's a drug dealer, you'll see him sell everything. He won't do it. He don't like it, but for right now, he feels like he has to do what he has to do. And when you living in America, sometimes they feel like that's no choice. At least that's how it was from the 60s to the 60s to the 70s to the 80s and to the 90s and at some point to the early 2000s. Nowadays, there is no excuse. There's no reason for us to be selling drugs. There's no reason day for a Rastafarian to go to jail for selling drugs. There's too many factory jobs, too many labor jobs. I'm blessed to have lived in the South, so there's always an abundance of labor jobs down here. People leave the city to come down here to South Carolina and find factory work, to find factory jobs. See what I'm saying? So there was no need for me to ever have to sell drugs. And most of my homies sell drugs. And I'm not talking about weed. Most of my homies sell drugs. They're not Rastas, but they sell drugs. But I never had to be put in that situation. And nowadays, there is no reason for a Rastafarian to go to jail for anything less than trying to push some weed. Selling pills, selling coke, selling Roxy, selling Oxycontin, Roxy's, Oxycontin, whatever the fuck. I don't know pills. I don't even know if I'm calling you motherfucking names right. But there's no reason for a Rasta to be going to jail for anything other than marijuana, other than trying to push marijuana. I don't know if cocaine's not really a popular drug anymore. And no, I don't think anybody does crack anymore. Everybody on that ice and shit. And Rasta has no business trying to sell ice. Rasta has no business trying to sell anything other than marijuana. And with the fact that, hell, where a lot of places in America where are legalized, hell, shit. Go to school, get your certification, whatever, and get in hell. As long as you ain't got, most of us shouldn't have a criminal background. Most Rastas don't have a criminal background. Especially Rastas coming up today and nowadays, the younger age Rastas who are just coming into this, or were born into this. Y'all like 18, 19, 18 and 19, 25 to 25 being the oldest. There's no reason for any of y'all to have any kind of criminal background because from the 90s to the early 2000s, there was no need for us to really be in the streets other than this to act cool. And they want too many of us. I'm saying personally, I grew up in high school. There weren't too many people around me who really, really, really believed in that gang shit. It was just that ray, rah, rah, rah shit. Just that rah, rah, rah bullshit. They weren't really down for that shit. If actually fight actually broke down over that flag, they wouldn't really fight for that damn flag. I done seen too many motherfuckers get their flag taken away and nobody ain't do shit about it. Their homies ain't do shit but laugh at them. Niggas supposed to go to war over that shit. These motherfuckers, all they did was laugh at them. None of them motherfuckers was real. There was no reason for any motherfuckers in my generation to go to jail for any reason because we didn't go without. The 90s generation, we weren't rich, but we weren't poor. We had struggles. But moms had good, but moms could have good jobs. All we had to do was just go to fuck to school and learn what the fuck we can. And by me doing that, I've learned more about life watching my mother's experience. So there was no need for me to go out in the street because I knew the streets would just make it worse. I can't make shit better for mama by going out in the street and peddling drugs when she gonna want to and giving her a heartache. She can't work that way. So the best thing I could do is just go get a job. And damn it if I didn't. I helped my mom pay the house off. See what I'm saying? When I got my first job, I helped pay bills. My second job, I helped pay bills. There was no reason to be out in the streets. There was no reason, and there's no reason for you rosters who are around 18 and 25. There's no reason for y'all to have any kind of criminal backgrounds because there was no situation that because growing up there was no situation where y'all had to go out there and do that shit. No. And even if that's the case, there are jobs even with y'all criminal backgrounds, y'all can get factory jobs. Even with criminal backgrounds, y'all can get factory jobs now. There's no reason to say I can't get a job or I can't do this or I have to be out the street because this is what I gotta do. No, nigga, that's what you wanted to do. Point blank, period.